Cowabunga dudes! Welcome back to the channel. I am Country Boy, and today we're going back to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Well, once on the channel, back in the day, probably about 2 years ago, I'd say, when the movie came out, we took a look at two of the giant Ninja Turtle figures. We looked at this guy right here. He's the leader. He's okay. And we looked at this guy right here. He's awesome. He's the cool dude. But we got two more for you. That's right. Today, we're taking a look at Michelangelo and Donatello. Finally, from Playmates. Yes, this is Whatcha Figure. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. And you might be wondering, why so late? Why is he looking at Michelangelo and Donatello like 2 years after the fact? Well, I mean, I'll tell you right now. I got the first two Ninja Turtles, and those were the only ones that were out at the time. A couple months later down the line, they finally came out with these two. And at the time, I didn't want to pay full price. I was like, it's $40 for two turtles. I should say 40 Canadian dollars. In the States, it's probably a different price. Then just recently, I saw on MastermindToys.com, they had a sale, 50% off. So I was like, I think now is the time to finally get me the full brother collection with Michelangelo and Donatello. And I am so excited to be looking at these guys because I had fun with the other ones. So having the full gang of the brothers is great. I can't wait to get into these guys. Mainly, you know why? I'll tell you why. Because this Halloween, my family dressed up as the Ninja Turtles and we had a blast. It was my son's idea, and nothing makes a dad prouder than when your son gets into the things that you're into and they're as excited as you were when you were a kid. Yeah, that makes me a proud dad right there. So I thought, to go along with our costumes for Halloween, I'd fill out the roster of our giant Ninja Turtles, and here they are. Today, we will take a look at these guys, but first, let's take a look at their packaging. Starting us off, we got Michelangelo here in the packaging, and you can see it is wide open box packaging, so you can see everything. Nothing's missing. That's great. They didn't swap out any parts with some wrestler figures or something like that. But you can see right there, giant Michelangelo. Includes nunchaku, so he's got nunchucks in here. There's the image of Michelangelo from the movie. He looked adorable in that movie. He was definitely the more kiddie. Mikey on the blocks, Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem symbol right there. On the side here, giant Michelangelo. On the back here, you can see another image of him. It says he's about 12 inches tall or so. Giant Michelangelo, all that. Another big image of him right there. On the side, same thing, giant Michelangelo. Go to the bottom, and then you can see the other guys that are in the line as well too, which we have. And then we have Donatello, looking fun and awesome and adorable, awesome, because these guys were cute in the movie. They were played by teenagers, and they have the young childlike voices. I like the way this thing looks. It's got the open packaging as well, similar to all the other ones. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem includes bow staff, it says right there, and other languages as well too. Giant Donatello, image of him from the movie as well too. Look at all the cool stuff that it comes with. And then you also got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, giant Donatello on the side. Go to this side, there he is. It says he's about 12 inches tall as well too, which means Michelangelo should have probably been a little bit shorter really, because he was smaller than all the other turtles in the movie. But that's neither here nor there. There you get the big image of Donatello as well too on the side. On the side there, more of the same. Go to the bottom, and then more of the same. There's the guys that are in the line as well too. Nothing left to do but to get into this packaging. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this episode so far, and if you are, if you wouldn't mind, hit that like, hit that subscribe, leave some comments down below, hit the bell as well to do all that stuff. I am CountryBoy_9, also known as CountryBoyNiner. A bunch of different places. Find me on the Twitch, on the TikTok, on the Instagrams, on the Letterboxd even too. I'm all over the place, so check me out. I'm also on a couple of other channels with my friends. One's called Wasted Opinions. There's 3 of us. We talk about video games, movies, TV shows, comic books, a whole bunch of different stuff. Check us out. And another channel with my other friend called Mallard Matinee, where we literally just review movies. We have a lot of fun reviewing movies, movies that we've seen before, movies we haven't seen before. So it's a bunch of good, bunch of bad. You never know what we're gonna watch next. But without further ado, let's get back to Michelangelo and Donatello. So starting us off, let's look at Michelangelo, and I love the blocky, asymmetrical look that the movie has, and they kind of captured it pretty well here. They do have the colors of the characters, and also like the squished head that Michelangelo kind of had in the movie. And his eyes are always maybe like a little bit one bigger than the other sort of thing. And I think that's kind of what's going on here. He definitely looks goofy. He's got a silly look to him, and all the characters always have kind of a crazy, awesome, cartoony kitty look. Almost hand drawn, but definitely CG. There was definitely some hand drawn elements to the movie, and I think a lot of that kind of shows through with the toy as well too. It looks like Michelangelo does in the movie. It's got a lot of his features. It's got his skin tone. They all have like a slightly different green skin tone, which is definitely reminiscent of the movie here, as you can see. Let's look at his accessories. So he comes with 2 accessories, and I put them on the back already too. So they're his nunchaku, or nunchucks, if you will, and they slide in there like that. They can pull out if you'd like. You can have them freehand in your hand, because they're pretty big, but they're definitely plastic chain. They're not real chain. They don't dangle, so they're static kind of in one pose. They're malleable a little bit, but they're not like you're gonna get from your NECA Ninja Turtles where you have the actual chain. And these can go into his hand as well too. So if you want, you can go ahead and shove that in there, and there you go. He's got his nunchucks that he's able to spin around and twirl and do all of his cool nunchuck moves. And yeah, that's essentially Michelangelo right there. It's him. He's got his belt. He doesn't have a lot more going on for him other than the nunchucks, and that's similar to like Leonardo and Raphael. They just came with their weapons and nothing else on top of that. But yeah, I think this guy looks cool. He definitely is reminiscent of Michelangelo from the movie. But while we're here, let's look at his articulation. There's not going to be a whole lot. These big blocky ones don't have that much articulation, but they do have an amount that is reminiscent of the old school Ninja Turtle toys that were the giant Ninja Turtles that you could get back in the day in the 80s and 90s. So let's take a look at that right here. The head goes side to side like that. It goes forward and back like such, and you can spin them back and forth like that. The arm goes up about as far as you can see right there. There's a good movement right there, up and down like that. There is no movement in the elbow, but you can swing his arm around like that, so you can go all the way around if you'd like. And then you can also do a swivel of the wrist, and that's all you get at the wrist. You don't get any other movement in the wrist. It's just the swivel of the wrist. There is no movement in the waist. Everything is like basically one solid piece. And then the legs can split about that far right there, and then they can go forward like that, and they can go back about that far. And there is joint in the knee though, so there is nothing in the elbow, but the knees do have some movement as well. So there's some movement there. There's nothing in the feet, so you're very limited there. And if you want to see what the bottom of the feet look like, there you go. They're like a hollow bottom right there. So that's going to do it for Michelangelo. Next, I'll take a look at Donatello and see how he fares. So looking at Donnie, you can see he's got like the more lighter green skin tone. Similar to the movie, he definitely had the lightest green skin tone. And he's the smart one of the group, obviously. So he's got to have the glasses, and he does. You can take these glasses off if you want to. They come off and come on really easily. They got little holes on the side of his head there. They're very small, so if you don't want to wear them, it's not too bad to take them off. It's not very noticeable, these holes, if you don't want them to have them. I'll just put those back on there. And then he also comes with some headphones too, so he's got to listen to his music, or maybe he's watching anime on his smartphone or something. So he got a smartphone as well too in his fanny pack. But yeah, if you want to take off his headphones, you can too. You can take those off. They come off there like that. Put them over his ears if you want to, wherever his ears would be. Maybe that's where his holes are. Maybe that's what those holes are for, his ears. Anyways, he's got the bandana, as you can see. He's got the purple. That's Donatello in a nutshell. Let's put these headphones back. I like them around his neck there. They add to him. They definitely add to the guy's look. And then the last accessory, obviously, you're gonna have his weapon, so his bow staff, and it is a hollow or plastic. Very big though. It's quite tall. It's almost as big as he is. Like, look at that. It's basically, yeah, same height as Donatello. Very simple. It's just one straight color plastic, just like a light brown, and it slots into his back right here. So it goes in there nice and easy. I like that. It goes in easy, comes out easy. And again, you can also put it in his hand, just like all the other Ninja Turtles can hold their weapons. So there you go. You can have him fighting crime and kicking butt, being a ninja, just like a Ninja Turtle does. Looking awesome. I like the way these guys look. These guys are gonna look cool together on the shelf. These are my boys. These are my son's toys. These are not mine. Although, he doesn't need these Ninja Turtles. No. These are his. These are his Ninja Turtles. We'll look at his articulation as well too. It's the same as Michelangelo's. So the head goes up and down. So it's gonna be limited to what you put in front of him. Obviously, these headphones kind of get in the way. Side to side, and then swivels. Actually, his head can swivel all the way around. He's got a longer neck, so it doesn't get hindered by his shell. And then the arm goes up about that far, down that far. You could swivel it all the way around as well too. Again, no elbow joint, but there's the wrist articulation movement right there. No movement in the waist or the hips because it's just one big chunk. And then the legs split out about that far. I think he does better splits than Mikey does. Nicely done. And they go forward like that. and then they go back like that, and then the or single jointed knee, I should say. There you go, you got some movement of the knee, and that's going to be it for your articulation. Very simple. They're the big, chunky, blocky Ninja Turtles. That's what you're going to get, that's what you expect, and you can't be really disappointed. But let's do some comparing with the other guys that I have in this line as well too, and just kind of see maybe which is our favorite. We'll take a look at that. And as you can see, all 4 turtles looking like they do from the cartoon, from the movie, I should say. And they're essentially all the same height, which, you know, maybe isn't accurate to the movie, but it's a thing that you do when you get toys. A lot of times they'll come in the same height so that everything kind of fits. The molds kind of similar. The molds are all different, I should say. I mean, they're all different shaped bodies and arms and limbs and heads. Everything's different in that sense, but size-wise, I mean, maybe it just makes it easier to have the hands are probably similar so they can fit all their weapons in their hands and stuff like that. So maybe that's why they decided to go with the same size bodies. Like if you look at Michelangelo, who's supposed to be the smallest of the group, his head looks way bigger than the other guys. And I think that's because maybe they sized him up from what he would have been essentially from the movie. And yeah, they also look really cool. I love that they're all different tones, different colors, and they all have their weapons. Everything is done probably what you would expect it to be for a giant Ninja Turtle figure from Playmates. And I'm not disappointed, they're pretty cool. I mean, there's not really much more to say about these Ninja Turtles figures. They're giant, they're very limited in their articulation, limited accessories, but they fit the property pretty well. I like what they're doing. And one thing I will say, Playmates, you're doing a pretty cool job, because I've seen some of the other figures that you have out there. I still want to get that Ray Fillet from the movie. That guy looks cool, but I haven't seen him anywhere here in Canada. Otherwise, I'd be picking him up for sure. And the new figures that I saw from that teaser trailer that they did for Chrome Alone 2, Lost in New Jersey. They had those those like fake Ninja Turtle figures that they made for that little short. They actually made those toys. Playmates making those toys. Those look fun as hell. Like just a squished in head for Michelangelo, and Leonardo's name is Nardo. That looks fun as hell. I don't know if I'll get them, but it's a really cool idea. And Playmates, you're knocking it out of the park with that. But that is going to do it for these Playmates toys. I had a lot of fun with them, and I know my son's going to have lots of fun with them too. Anyways, that's it. That's all. I am out. I am Country Boy, and I put the sass in Sarsaparilla. But as always, be sure to let me know what you figure. I know I said that's it, that's all, but hey, just give me a little more of your time. I got a few more videos for you. I'm sure you're going to want to check out a lot more Ninja Turtles. I got a whole bunch of that stuff for you. But even if you don't care about Ninja Turtles, I got even more stuff for you. Check that out as well too. You just never know what might tickle your fancy.